Guys, it's Henry from IFE. So today I want to talk about a few things in regards to the changing economy we have because of COVID, 2021 outlook, US stock bubbles, and the rise of the West to the East in China in terms of innovation. So go over what we're seeing because of COVID. We're seeing more delivery, a lot more online systems. For example, Zoom's had a very good year. Also, other systems such as Microsoft we've seen do well as Amazon at 80% this year. What I see in 2021 is the shift becoming more prominent. It was already happening. So, for example, we've talked in a lot of the blogs about cinema. Cinema has been declining year on year, and I think it's just accelerated that industry changed. In cinema it's a negative, but in the way we do business, video conferencing, the way we do online shopping, it's just accelerated that change a bit faster. And we've seen companies accelerate because of this change. So as far as a portfolio goes, what we're looking at in terms of investment and what companies will potentially thrive through this is companies that are at the forefront of this change. So companies like Delivery Hero that have got market leaders already and looking to put a lot of R&D into the changing delivery of home. Talked a bit about in the blogs about Ocado as well, their potential rises, and also the more obvious ones, Amazon, also looking to change in the nature thrive in the nature because of this shift, although Amazon prices are still quite high from a share perspective. So then looking from west to east, now I've talked about this in a number of the blogs. Feel free to have a look at investment for expats.com on the blog section for a few of those that have read about that, and how the Chinese companies. Now 2020 is definitely a year for the US tech stocks. I believe 2021 and onwards will be a year for Chinese tech stocks. Getting in the region of Southeast Asia, got massive development there, massive growth, massive consumer market of middle income. Places like Indonesia with a population of around 230, Vietnam with a GDP growth of 7%, population of 90 million, and the Philippines as well, and 90 million, and GDP growth of around 4 or 5%, as well as its home base of China that's looking to have a good year in 2021 at around 6% GDP growth. So as far as the innovation goes, listen to a podcast by James Anderson, fund manager of Scottish Mortgage Investment Trust, and he was saying that a lot of the companies that he speaks to, US companies, they don't look to Silicon Valley for innovation anymore. They look to places like Shenzhen, where a lot of the big tech companies are based in China. And that's where I think it's coming out. We're seeing more innovation from China. I think, for example, everyone's been on about Tesla, but what also has been ignored is Chinese company Nero, that's also up 1,500% year to date. Chinese electric car manufacturer. So I believe there's that shift in innovation from the west to the east, and believe that Chinese equities are still undervalued compared to their US counterparts. Now, one point that does come into play is how safe are these companies from an investor point of view. The large cap ones, I'd prefer more to stick to them. They are listed on the Nasdaq and Hong Kong as well most of the time, but I would be wary on that, as it doesn't mean full safety as we've seen with Luckin Coffee and the reporting scandals there. If you do want more information on what 2021 is likely to bring, the implementations on that as your portfolio, feel free to get in touch at investmentforexpats.com. Thanks guys.